Hey guys, it's Lish, and today I'm going to show you guys how I make this cute little fancy bikini. And by the way, I will be dropping bikini tutorials all summer, so make sure you subscribe. These are the two fabrics I use. One is like a swimwear performance fabric, and the other one has appliques on it. This is the pattern I use. I'll do my best to put it in the description for free. I usually start with the straps first, so you need 5 straps total, 3 for the top and 2 for the bottom. And I'll put the length for the straps in the description. And I make all my straps about 1 inch wide. So here I'm just cutting out my pattern. For the triangles, I'll need 2 triangles for each side, so 4 triangles total. For the bottoms, I need 2 for the front and 2 for the back, so I usually just cut out one and then flip it and cut out the second. That way I can make sure it's nice and even. So if you notice on all my patterns, the part where the strap channel will be, I round it off. That's because when you fold it over, you want it to line up. See, if I don't like round it, when you fold it over, it's gonna stick up the edge. So that's why all the corners are rounded. So I'm gonna start with my straps. I like to add this type of elastic to my swimsuits. It's very stretchy and it's not super thick. So, cause my machine, like when I sew it with thick fabric, sometimes I just don't like it. I am sewing a lot of this with the serger, but if you don't have a serger, it's okay. You can sew it on your regular sewing machine with some type of stretch stitch, like a zigzag or maybe like a hem. Fabric has like a matte side and like a glossy side. I want the glossy side to show, so I put the right sides together and just lay the elastic right on top and just sew it on there onto the edge. And once I get all my straps done, I'm just going to take this loop turner. If you don't have a loop turner, do yourself a favor, pause this video, go to Amazon and order some because they make such a big difference turning out straps. And another thing, with this elastic, I like that you can actually get like a very thin strap with it, whereas the other types of elastic that I use, I couldn't get like a thin strap. Like it would still look kind of bulky, and I like it thin. So I'm going to take the 2 triangle pieces, put them together. I'm putting the glossy sides together, or right sides together. So I'm just going to pin it along the 2 edges. So I'm just going to, again, sew the elastic right on top. So here's what it looked like when I'm done. And again, I just sewed the 2 edges, not the bottom. So now it's time to put the top strap on. You want to cut off the tip of the triangle. And when I say like the smallest triangle, like literally you want it to be like just barely big enough for the strap to fit in there. If you make it too big, the top of your triangle is going to look very like boxy. So make sure you make that hole like really tiny. And I'm just going to take my strap turner, whatever, and pull my strap through just to the very edge. Now I'm going to secure that down with the straight stitch, and you want to go back and forth like a good amount of times. I usually do like 4 at least, so that it's on there really good. Once those are on there good, I'm just going to pull them right side out. And now I'm just going to sew along the bottom. And by the way, I'm using the Brother 1034D serger. It's a great one for beginners, and it's probably the most affordable one out there. I think mine was only like $240. Now I'm just gonna fold up the bottom and pin it, and this is our strap channel. So you want to make sure that you make it at least wide enough for the strap to fit through, but you don't want to make it too loose, because then your bikini top is not gonna like scrunch up and like, you know, have that cute little scrunch look to it. So now I'm going to sew the bottom. You can use a straight or a zigzag stitch, it doesn't matter. I like to use this one. It's number 5, and this is the setting I use. It's good because like if the seam pops at all, it doesn't really like all come undone. For the bottoms, I take one front piece and one back piece and put them right sides together and then pin that bottom part. So I'm just going to serge those together, and again, anything that I do on my serger, if you don't have one, you can just do with any type of stretchy stitch on a regular sewing machine. So once that's done, I just trim the threads and then I'm putting the right sides together, and I'm just gonna pin along the two side edges. And you want to try to get that seam in the middle to line up on both sides. And I also laid the elastic on top of here, on these two sides, and sew it onto the top. So once that's done, I'm just gonna flip it right side out. And now I'm going to sew the ends closed. Now it's time to add the strap channel, so I'm just gonna fold over the edges and then again just make it like thin but not too thin, just enough for your strap to fit through. And then I'm gonna sew that down with the same zigzag stitch. I wish I had some like cool music or something to put into these spots where I have nothing to say, but I don't know how to do that yet, so just watch. Now I'm gonna cut out these little appliques. This part can be a little time consuming. You don't have to like cut it perfect, like you don't want to get it like right, like every single detail. You just kind of want to get like a good like general shape for it. So this is what I cut out. I filled in the blanks, but then I ended up kind of liking it with a little bit less on there. But I'm just going to pin it in place, pin it all around. For the bottom part, I do fold over the edges and pin them in. And when you're sewing this, you want to make sure you don't accidentally sew the strap channel. You want to like avoid that little area at the top of the bottoms and at the bottom of the bikini top, because you want to still be able to fit your strap through there. So for the bottoms, I usually just sew all around the edges because I do have to fold over and tuck in some of those pieces. So I just go all the way around the bottoms with a zigzag stitch, trying to stay on like the little applique part as much as possible. For the top parts, I did end up using a straight stitch instead, so it would be less noticeable. So I'm just like going around. This part is kind of like a little tedious. I'll like lift up the footer a lot, but I'm just going around like all the edges. So I just trimmed off all the little threads and then added the straps. I ended up trimming off the little pieces that were hanging off the edge. And then I looked for any piece that was kind of like loose and flapping around, and then I sewed that down as well so it's more secure on there. And this was the final result. It looked like a cute, elegant, like high class designer bikini, if I do say so myself. And this is the fit and my beautiful model. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to leave them below and I'll do my best to answer. As always, thanks for watching. You can always follow my work and see where to buy my items on my Instagram at Devalishangel.